This week on Winchester and Drury's Natural Born, sit back and relax as we bring you some classic whitetail hunting. First, with good friend Tim Seigler, who's strapping into a tree stand in the Show Me State.
He's pretty excited.
And then with a guy who's always up for a good time, Steve Stoltz.
Happy Halloween. We look like a couple of jack-o'-lanterns up here in the tree because it is due to Missouri Firearms Youth Season. So breaking out the orange a little bit earlier this year. We'll sit back and see what happens.
This tree in particular, I always hunted to the south of it, and I want it to be a little bit to the north. I could see all these deer pinpointing right there, and I sat back about 300 yards and I picked out this tree and I said, that's it, that's the one. So I walk up to it and lo and behold, there's actually tree steps sticking out of it. Well, way back in the 90s, a former Drury Outdoors member, Tad Brown, used to hunt this farm. This is actually a tree that was found by Tad Brown, and I used his tree steps to climb up in this tree stand that I set. So we get set up right at daylight, got a few bucks crashing through.
Get downwind of us. Alright, November 13th, opening day here in Missouri. Should be interesting this time of year on this farm in this area. It gets fun quick, so we'll see what happens.
All right, so typical movement here in Missouri, middle November. It's pretty quick movement in here, back and forth, a few does here and there, but starting to see a few antlers roll in.
Little midday movement here. We know that deer, a 3-year-old, he's got him messed up on one side. I don't know why, he's missing a beam. Good to see movement.
We checked DeerCast, it's looking great. The wind's in our favor. All things are pointing in the right direction for us to jump into Tad Brown's stand.
But this is a stand that Tad Brown hung back in the early 90s. If you guys been around watching Drury Outdoors, you know Tad. And this tree right here is one that he hung way back when I was a kid.
All right, so we're hitting midday. We're not seeing too much, you know, a few are squirting through here and there, but the action isn't the greatest. Below me, through the brush, here comes a rack. I know him, he's got that bladed G2. He's a deer on our hit list, and he's coming in fast.
Andrew, buck. He's a pretty good one.
Winchester USA Ready Defense is a select grade of personal defense ammunition that offers a unique combination of stopping power, penetration, and reliable expansion. The innovative hex vent rigid insert shields the hollow point by channeling soft material for positive expansion and energy transfer. Built with match-grade primers for trusted reliability. Be ready when you need it most with USA Ready Defense.
I look up out through the bushes, I see this rack, it's got a bladed G2. I know this deer, he's on my hit list and he's coming in fast.
Casing in my binoculars. Oh, that happened so fast.
It's one of our deer on our hit list. I couldn't be more happy to take this deer, bring him back home to my family. What's super special about it is the fact that I got to do it in a tree that was hung by Tad Brown way back when. That's how I got into deer hunting. I grew up watching Drury Outdoors, and to be in that historical tree and have it all come together again, I wish I could hear the stories that tree could all tell from the past. I'm just glad I could add one more to it. All right, so we got the deer tagged. I'm headed home. My boy, he's 2 years old at this time. He's about to get a front row seat.
He's pretty excited. This is the first deer I brought home because this is my going on 4th year that I haven't shot a deer, so it's been quite a bit of a hiatus for me. But it's pretty cool to coming home to wife and kids. Everybody's excited. First time they've ever really got to experience this. So this is the first time after hunting all these years I've actually been able to get a deer on Grandpa's birthday. I've been trying my entire life. Got to see Amos's first deer, bring it home, and on Rooster's birthday. So, high five.
What a great memory there with your son. I'm sure watching him with your buck is a celebration you'll never forget. Now, we're continuing with the November theme as returning DoD team member Steve Stoltz makes a bid for one of the season's top 5 hit listers.
Well, to get my new farm ready, this is the first time I've ever owned a farm, a lot of work involved, so I had to get some food plots in and set up myself for future success. I'm here on my 153 acres that I just purchased last fall. Gonna plant biologic right here and get a good established clover plot. I've had a Reconyx camera on a tree right here and I've got some great up-and-comer bucks. I'm pretty pumped. I think he found a shed. Oh yes, he did. Look at this. Look at this. Shed hunting the easy way while you're disking up your clover plot. I'm planting this clover food plot here because over to the north here and to the west is a great big bedding area. Pretty excited about getting the biologic Clover Plus in the ground. Well, after getting inventory on my farm and seeing that none of the bucks that I was getting, really were in the age class that I'd like to be able to harvest. So I was in a pinch. So I gave this farmer a phone call. He allowed me to come and hunt on his farm. I did, however, have time to get a couple tree stands in key locations that I knew were good in the past. All right, I'm here at a neighbor's farm. It's late September and I'm switching all my trail cameras to scrapes. We're gonna go out in the timber, get a few cameras up on scrapes and get some stands up. Well, there you have it. Rake, buck scent, tarsal gland gel, a piece of rope, and a weed eater to clean out the area for the scrape. I'm gonna hang a tree stand right over here and we'll be good to go. Well, my game plan was simple. I was gonna stay out of the permission farm, hunt my home farm, because I wanted to save that permission farm for more of the peak rut. That's when I figured that I would have a better chance to take muley based on previous years' observations and Reconyx camera pictures. I've got a new shooter that has arrived on the farm, but I believe he came onto this farm looking for does. I've got a lot of does on this farm. In fact, I shot a big doe right out of this stand a few mornings ago. But right now, I'm hunting for the big giant 10. Jim Beam. Tough to pass, but we'll let him live another year. Well, after the Jim Beam encounter, I knew big bucks were on their feet and rolling, and I was just waiting for DeerCast to tell me it was time to go to the permission farm. Little buck cruising. So today is perfect, and I'm going in to see if we can't get our eyes on a buck that I call Muley, my #1 target buck. Actually, I remember having an encounter with this same buck the year before. He kind of came out, he's pretty, wasn't old enough to shoot obviously, but he walked right by the tree in this spot where I now have pictures of him. And as soon as I got in the stand, I no sooner got my Matthews up, got everything ready, look up, and here comes a shooter right for the tree. Well, it was tough to pass that buck, but I'm telling you, he came by. I had a split-second decision. It wasn't Muley, and Muley was my #1 target buck. Even though this buck was fully mature, probably had to have my head examined for passing him, but I let him walk, and it wasn't 15 minutes after that last buck left, I look up, and here comes a doe right for the tree.
There's a buck behind her. It's Muley, right behind her.
DeerCast is now supercharged with maps. Get ahead of your game with killer new features like live Doppler radar, wind check out to 5 days, virtual rain gauges, GPS path tracking, and more. Plus, get our 14-day revolutionary DeerCast prediction and access to DeerCast Track. Prep, predict, and pursue with DeerCast.
There's a buck behind her. It's Muley, right behind her.
It's Muley, the buck that I've got Reconyx pictures of. I had an encounter with him last year, and he's coming right my direction.
Got him. Got him. I just got Muley. Go down. Go down, Muley. I just got it done. On my target buck. And I think he's down right there. He's a giant. He is a great buck. And I'm pumped. DeerCast said hunting was going to be good. And it was on the money. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Well, I did my due diligence and checked DeerCast Track, and it said wait 30 to 45 minutes, but I knew I had all the confidence in the world what would be at the end of that blood trail.
I'm just gonna slip down, go over and check my arrow, and I'm gonna go put my hands on that bad boy. I mean, blood trail is bright red, double lung. I don't think he went very far. And there he is. Oh my gosh. What a gorgeous buck. The buck that I call Muley is down for the count. Look at that buck. Muley is down. Got my statewide buck tag. What a giant.
This is a buck that I call Muley, and the reason why he's got so much character, you look on his left G2, he's got a big fork, and he's framed up, kickers, he's framed up a lot like a big mule deer. DeerCast said hunting was going to be good this morning. This was the biggest deer that I knew of on this particular place, and so thank you to the landowners for letting me go in and hunt this buck, put the shot on him, and he drops not too far from the tree stand. So the Rage and the Matthews did its job. I'm telling you, I am one happy hunter to take a giant Southern Iowa whitetail like this.
This segment presented by DeerCast WindCheck. Hunt the wind up to 5 days in advance.
Next week on Winchester and Drury's Natural Born, we've got even more exhilarating turkey timber takedowns.
We just got it done. Boom.
And after that, we've got more whitetail action, first in Illinois with longtime team member Kyle Lamore. And yet another glorious hunt from Chris Comstock in Missouri. He's got his eyes set on what is sure to be one of the biggest whitetail bucks in Natural Born this season. Be sure to join us for next week's show.
We're adding new videos every week, so make sure to click that subscribe button and check out all of our amazing content. This episode of DoD TV was brought to you by Leupold.